And this one over here is an ace, and that one is an ace. This is going to be the greatest trick you've ever seen. You understand what I'm telling you, Stinky? So keep your eyes open, because you'll never believe this to your dying day. Action, the man said, I'm going to show you a little trick using 4 coins. 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are 4 Chinese coins, all right? They're Chinese on both sides. They all have the same parents and all that garbage. If I cover this, Steve, how many coins do you see?
3.
If I cover that, how many do you see?
3.
If I cover that, how many do you see?
3.
If I cover that, how many do you see?
And 3.
Watch this, Dorothy. How many do you see now?
3.
Very good. How many do you see now?
2.
How many do you see now?
2.
How many do you see now?
1.
How many do you see now?
1.
How many do you see now?
1.
How many do you see now?
None.
I just made 4 coins disappear one at a time. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to make this coin fly over there. This coin will fly over there, and this coin will fly over there. Then how many coins will be under there?
4.
You're right. Watch it go. The first coin goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Hold on for a second. I didn't say abracadabra. We must say abracadabra. Watch it one more time. Abracadabra. There's 2 over there. When this one goes next, how many will be under there? Make a little room right here. Watch this go. The third one goes, and there's 3 under there, okay? Now, I'm going to get it down to this corner right over here. When this coin joins that coin all the way there, how many will be under there, darling?
4.
Watch it go. 1, 2, 3, 4. What the hell's going on here, for crying out loud? The coins all came back? We're going to use 2 cards, all right? I'm going to use this coin over here and make it go there. Then this coin goes there next, and this coin goes last. We've got 4 coins, 1 card. Watch this, kid. This is great. We're going to get rid of these 3 coins. Work with just this one. Watch this one. If I take this coin and put it in my pocket, how many coins are left under there?
None.
No, look, Dorothy. Keep your eye on this coin.
All right.
If I take this coin and put it in my pocket, how many are left over here?
None.
Oh, there's still 1. I'm going to do this till you get it right. All right? If I put this one in my pocket, how many are left?
1.
You're absolutely right, but it's the big one. Thank you. I'd like to explain to you how this works and a little bit of psychology behind this. Remember, I showed you the 4 cards and the 4 coins. Okay? Now, just for something for you meticulous magicians out there that would like to have the coins examined, what we'll do is we'll take the shells of the 2 outside coins. I've got some tobacco in this. Okay. And if you just take them and pardon me, finger palm the shells, what you can do is like this. You can hand this to the guy over here to examine. You can hand this to the guy over here to examine. You cross over, bring this one back, load it in the shell, hand this over here, bring this one to examine, cross over and load it into the shell. And you've got all the coins examined and you're in position to do it. Figure that one out. I don't care how much you look at your tape. You're not going to figure out how to do it. Just do what I said. The object to start this trick is to have a shell in this corner, a shell in this corner. Because I'm a right-handed person, I have it in the upper left, the lower right. If you want to change it around, it's very simple. You show 4 coins, 4 cards. Now what we have to do is we have to move this shell, okay, and put it up here to join this other shell and coin. This is a move I don't like to move. I do not like these tricky, fancy moves. I like to do it this way. Remember, I want to move this shell up there. I show the 4 cards. I don't care if they're business cards, postcards, whatever you want. And all I do is I hold it like this, okay? Then I say, how many coins do you see? And all I'm doing now is reaching down on a shell and picking it up. There's the shell. How many coins you see? They say 3. How many coins you see? They say 3. And I'll say, how many coins you see now? They say 3. I've got the shell now attached to this card, and I just cover this up. How many see now? They say 2. You're not going to believe this to your dying day. And this is something that I always say. You're not going to believe this to your dying day. I get my audience 5 minutes into the show. They've heard me say this so many times that they're going to say, when I just look at them, they say, you're not going to see this to your dying day. How many coins you see now? 1. You're not going to believe this to your dying day. How many coins you see now, lady? They say none. How do you like that? I just made 4 coins disappear one at a time. Now, the next thing I do is I say, I want to make sure that this audience knows that there's 1 coin under each card. I don't want to do any of those phony moves with the coin assemblies and those other tricks. I want it to look good. Now, watch this. If I made this coin invisibly fly to join that card, how many coins will be there? They say 2. When I make this one go and invisibly fly under that card, how many coins will be there? They say 3. I'm gearing them up for this. And I'm also turning the coins over at the same time. How many will be now if it flies over? They say 4. Watch. Now, they've seen a coin under each one of these cards, but they did not see this yet because I've stolen a shell from here to there. But I want them to see this also, and this is the way I do it. Watch this one go on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. What the heck happened there? Let me check this out. Now they have seen 1 coin under each card. So all I've done, instead of picking this coin up, I pick up the shell coin. All I'm doing is picking it up like this. Just put your finger there. Now, if you want to do that, you can do that so you can make the noise. All right? And then I show them, and I put these down while I lift up the other ones. I say, I forgot the magic words, abracadabra. Watch number 1 go, abracadabra. So all I did is I picked that up. They see the second coin there, I put it down. Now, I want this coin to go next. When that joins, there'll be 3. Well, how do I get 3 there? You know it can't fly through the air. Only you magicians think it will fly through the air. As I cover it with this card, look what happens. All I'm doing is taking this shell off and putting it here on the cover. I let 2 little ends stick out. I'm going to make it go dead center. Watch this one go next. 1, 2, 3, and there it is. Now, there's 3 coins. I still have the solid coin here. I still have the solid coin here. When this one goes next, how many are going to be there? They know it's going to be 4. Going to get it right down there, guys. Going to get it right down in that corner. As I cover it up like this, I just go and put the shell back on here, steal the other shell. I've got that shell stolen, and a funny thing happens. It comes all back to the same. I put the 2 cards down with the shell. I want you to watch this subtly now. There's a shell underneath these 2 cards now. Now I'm going to do just a regular coin assembly, a crossover thing. I'm just going to separate this coin here. See, just separate it with the edge of your hand. And as you take this, you pick it up, and it looks like this one's flown over. I crisscross. Now I'm loading this coin over here and do the same thing. I've got a coin over here. Now I'm going to make the last one go, and I do that. So now I've got 1 coin here, which I lay on top of this. Remember, I've got a shell and 3 solid coins. I'm going to use just 1 card now. And now I'm going to do a little sleight of tongue. I will bring these up like this and say, I'm going to get rid of 3 coins. Well, here's what happens. We need a little higher shot for this, if you don't mind. Get me up here. Good. So what's going to happen over here is like this. This is a shell. There's a coin under here, all right? Now I gather these up. The fingers hide everything. I put the shell on top of 1 coin, all right? And just push them together like this. I'm going to get rid of these 3. There's only 2 here, but I don't see it. And as I drop them on top of this, I push the card. I separate the card, and it drops. And they see 3 there now. Good psychology. And they see the 1 coin over here, okay? I continue on with this routine by putting the coin on the table. And I asked the lady or the man, I said, look, I'm going to work with this coin. If I take this coin over here, put this coin in my pocket, how many coins are left here? And they say none. I say, no, pay attention. Look, this coin goes into the pocket. How many coins are left over here? And they say none. I say, look, I'm going to do this till you get it right. All right. If I put this in my pocket, how many are left here? By then they say one, but then when you open it, it's a much bigger coin. That is the original routine for beggar coins. There are many, many more things I can do with beggar coins, but I wanted to show you a coin assembly using a couple of very pretty shells and just explain something while I'm here. Going overseas many times with American coins has been very fruitful for me. They like American coins. Americans make good coins. But the amateur says to me, can you make these coins with lira? There isn't a coin in Italy, for crying out loud, that the American use except maybe something like a penny and dime, a small coin. Germany has very good coins, but their coin is worth like $2.50 is against our $0.50, so it's quite expensive. Switzerland has good coins, but their coin, the $0.50 side, is more than valued at $0.50, which will bring the price of Coin Magic up. So Hank Morehouse and Chidori, they came up with some nice coin tricks using these shells. Now you have an international coin trick, for crying out loud. You can take this now into different countries and present it, and they're never going to say anything because everybody recognizes a Chinese coin, even though they're not Chinese coins. They're nothing but washes, for crying out loud, with a couple Chinese inscriptions on them. So this is what you get in the set, and this is a very, very pretty set. And I hope you enjoyed what I call a reverse coin assembly. I'm not going to use the word matrix because matrix is Al's version of a coin assembly, and it's a very good one also. Now, if you don't want to use the shells, we're not asking you to buy beggar coins. We're just showing you an application for it. And if you don't want to buy beggar coins, you probably have expanded halves at home. You have some type of shells at home. And if you only have 2 shells, you've got it made. You may have in the tip at home, which has also got the necessary shells that you need. So beggar coins is worthy of your trust. I've enjoyed this, and I think you've seen the reaction I got from these guys there. Okay, that's it for beggar coins. Little trick called How About That? When I was a little kid, this was the first trick I ever came up with. I've been using it ever since. A bunch of red cards for you, a bunch of blues for me. I like you to touch any red card. Just push it forward a little. Fine. Would you like to change your mind? No. You sure? You can change your mind if you like to. You don't want to change your mind? No. You think she should change her mind, Steve? No, she should. Okay. You don't want to change your mind? No. I see. You know what's going to happen at the end of the trick? What? I bet you're going to say, boy, I wish I changed my mind. You don't want to change your mind? No. Okay. We're going to take your red card and put it in my blue pile. You gave me a red card, right, darling? Yeah. Remember that. I make this easy. Let's see. You gave me a red card, and I will give you a blue. You understand what I'm doing now? You gave me a red one. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you a blue one. Right. Okay? Yeah. I make it very easy. Right. I mean, you know, the guys in Toronto and Montreal, they told me about you people up here. Okay. You gave me a red one. I gave you a blue one. Let's see what card is the blue one. Just take it out and turn it over. It's a 3 of puppy feet. Right. All right? Yeah. Or a 3 of clubs. You know what card you gave me? You're not kidding. The red one, right? And it's also the 3 of clubs. Look at Steve. You know, in his sneaky, suspicious mind, you know what he thinks, don't you? What? You bow-legged, knock-kneed, four-eyed Ethiopian, you. Do you think I would do something like that? You're right, they are all alike. But they are not 4 clubs. And you can examine them. That's called How About That? Oh, oh, pardon me. Let me show you how this trick works. First of all, you can or you don't have to smoke a cigar. But I smoke. I do what I want to do. I'm a nonconformist, ladies and gentlemen, and the magic I do, when they hire me, they're hiring Paul Diamond. I do things my way. You do things your way. If you want to be one of those fancy guys, fine. Let me give you the explanation for this trick. First of all, How About That came from an old announcer for the New York Yankees by name of Mel Allen. When I was a young kid, around 13, 14, I used to deliver stuff to the Yankee Stadium way before the game would start. The Yankees, Joe DiMaggio, King Kong Keller was there, Johnny Lindell. I was Vic Raschi, all of these guys were there, and I would be delivering this stuff. And the gatehouse keeper was a guy named Pop Logan, and he always made me show him a magic trick. He lived in our neighborhood, and he worked there. And it was quite unusual because one day this guy, Mel Allen, comes along, who's a very famous announcer, and I was very embarrassed to do a trick for him because he was a big personality. And when I did this particular trick, it was done with 2 decks of cards instead of this way. When I did the trick, he said, "How about that?" So years later, when I got in the business and put it on a market, I called it "How About That." Here's your setup. You'll get a bunch of red back jokers. You'll make these yourself. You have plenty of decks of cards at home with jokers. You will get a bunch of blue back jokers. All right. You will also get 1 red force card, which in this red back force, in this case, is a 3 of club. I use small numbers because sometimes, I go to certain countries and they just don't know the high numbers. So I use small numbers because they can count the spots. And you have a blue back 3 also. Now I got to explain something to you. The 3 is what we call a short card. The blue back is a short card. And a short card is nothing but a card that is shorter than the other cards. You can't even see it, but it's minutely shorter. And the way you make that is you just take a scissor, cut a little piece off, and you round off the corners with a file or whatever you have. The short card is on the bottom. The next card, next 3 is on top, blue, red. And we start the routine by saying a bunch of red cards for you and a bunch of blues for me. I show you a bunch of blue. I never go all the way down to the bottom. I just show a bunch of blues for me. All right? Point to a card. Tell me when to stop, or you push a card forward. It's according. I have nobody next to me here. So let's say they point to this. You pull it out. How many times have you magicians have a card selected and you say one time to them, "Would you like to change your mind?" Okay? And they say no, and you continue on. Well, I like to pump it a little more, and as you know, I like to tease people. Would you like to change your mind? No. You sure you don't want to change your mind? They say no. Why don't you change your mind? They say no. Now, sometimes they do change their mind, and you get a lady, they will change their mind because she thinks she's trying to help you. She thinks that you want her to change the mind. And when she pushes it back and pushes another one forward, you get a great laugh. And it's not the end result you're looking for, it's the entertainment value till you get to the end result, and the end result kills them. So if you get those laughs and those hoo-has and all that before, it's a lot of fun. It doesn't matter what card they push forward because it's all going to be jokers. Want to change your mind? And as you go to pick it up, I look at her again. I say, "Would you like to change your mind?" Finally, no, you had enough of this. You take the joker. They don't see it. You put it on top. You cut it in half. By cutting your pile in half, you are now putting the short card on top of the joker, okay? We got to get that joker back there. And after I've cut it once, then I riffle the back. Not only can you feel it, but you can hear it because the short card drops. So now I do this, and I cut right there just by riffling the back, see? And it just stops right there. There's nothing else that's going to happen. There's no way. You just riffle, and it will stop on the short card. Now you cut it one more time. What I've done now is I've taken the short card, which is the fourth card that I'm trying to do, the 3 of club. It's on top. And underneath it is the joker, the red joker you had just given me. And I want to get it back into this pile. So what I'm going to do now is a double lift. But the double lift, you don't have to know how to do. All you do is put finger in the front, in the middle, and this thumb just scrapes off the top card. Because the card is short, the top one, it's going to pick the second card. And you make the action suit the words. You say, you gave me a red, I'll give you a blue. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting two cards back there, but I'm picking this up like this. You gave me a red, and I'll give you a blue. And it looks like all I gave you is a blue, but I pushed it into the deck. Now we must cut it one more time to bring that other force card to the middle of this. Okay. What color did I give you? What color did you give me? And naturally, it's going to come out like this. You gave me a red back, which is a 3 of club. I gave you a blue back, which is the 3 of club. Now what I usually do, I usually have a drink over here. I'll take a drink and don't say a thing. What they're dying to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is turn the rest of the cards over. They think that this is a Mickey Mouse trick and that all the cards are alike. Well, so while I'm taking a drink, you see people sneaking a look at the cards, or I'll turn around and get the drink. It's usually behind me. But if they don't, I always look at them and I say, I'll bet in your sneaky, suspicious mind, you think that these cards are all alike. Well, you're absolutely right, with a laugh, and that's going to get them to laugh with you, and you say they are all alike. They are all jokers. You may play with these cards even. And that's how about that. And I think it's worthy of your trust. It's a good trick to keep in your pocket. Okay, I'd like to show you something now, something that everybody tries to do, and they have a lot of fun. This is a beautiful studio that we're at now, hands-on videoonics. And boy, I never expected to be such a professional studio. This is a real taping session that we're doing. It's just a beautiful room, and everything about it is great. The only thing that's wrong with this place, it happens to be March, and it's like below zero outside. But it was the only time I had available, and Hans has been trying to get me for years to do something. Most of the people that scale cards learn this method, which is a dangerous method, by putting the cards here, pulling it back to their ear, and going out, okay? One more time, and they whip their wrist as they go out, and the cards fly all over the place, which can hurt you. I remember guys years ago, two guys would hold a sheet of newspaper, and the guy would go and boom, right through the newspaper. And then it was 2 newspapers, 3 newspapers, 4 newspapers. And they were shooting them out to the audience. Well, to get through the 4 newspapers, the guy took a double card, and so help me God, he put razor blades in each corner, and he went through the 4 newspapers, and it landed out in the audience. Ridiculous thing to do. You don't need it. But I've seen so many crazy things happen. I'd like to show you a Joe Casari type of card scaling, and him and Walt Cummings showed it to me. You start by using a finger grip, one of these little thumb grips that you count money with. And little by little, you're able to cut that down into a little thing like this. And then when you become good at it, you don't even need it. Okay, now this is what it's going to look like. The cards are going to come out, okay, and scale all over the place. Now, I can get these to go 20 miles down the place. So all I'm doing is this, all right? So with the loft of your hand, you get it to go a lot further. With a large area, like a theater with a balcony, so help me, I can put my finger out and make it come back and curve back to you. You can't do it here. It's not the high ceiling. I like to show you how this is done and how simple it can be. First, you put it in what we call a claw grip. You just take these 3 fingers, okay? Just these 3 fingers, and do that. Now just watch this. This thumb here is just pushing a card up slowly, okay? Just pushes a card up like that. That's all there's to it. Just push the card up. That's what you're doing. And now you flip your thumb. You flip your thumb, and she flies away. Now do that with 2 hands. Learn to do it with 2 hands. Boom, 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 boom. And you've got something beautiful in card scaling. Why card scaling? Because many times at the frozen food conventions, at the Hyatt Regency, my company would make cards inviting them to um, their hospitality room in the evening from 5 to 9 or whatever it was. And in these big conventions, you are fighting competition. And these people, these 10,000s of people that are at the auditorium or something, they want to see something. Every night they go into a cocktail party. They're not just interested in the drink and stuff. There's always entertainment at my client's cocktail party, whether it be me or whatever it was. And I would stand on the ledges of these hotels and scale these invites. Hundreds of them. I had two guys next to me that would keep feeding them to me, and I do it with both hands back and forth, and it would be flying all over the place. Well, the whole hotel was us. They had Dixieland bands down there, everything else. So card stealing is an interesting thing, and it's quite easy. The hardest part is just that claw, just to hold it with 3 fingers, and the rest is nothing. Just take and push that card out, and you've got yourself a card scale. Get yourself a little rubber tip, start cutting it out, and after a week of practicing it, I'm not going to say it takes 2 minutes. That's a bunch of horse manure. After you practice it for about a week, you will slowly take that off, and you can still do it. That's it. All right, let me explain the 38 special. In fact, I'd like to take the 38 special and shoot the cameras once in a while. I know I can never be a movie actor. You have to sit around too long waiting for everything to be perfect. But I can appreciate the effort made. Look, here's your explanation. Many years ago, it was done this way, the only method available, where the deck was perfectly faro shuffled, which in itself is a tough thing to do. And it was end to end like this. Then you held it to the person and they pushed back and they peeked at a card, okay? Then you held a finger break and you would bring it down into the gun position, and there was a big hole in here, the finger break, and you would take the bullet and put it in that hole. Baloney. Forget about it. You don't need it. There's a little trick using a card. It's called an ace. We sometimes call it a bullet, blah, blah, blah. Have the card selected. Have the card controlled to the top in your favorite method, okay? That's the selected card, a king of club, and it's controlled to the top. Now you take about 1/3 of the cards off. It doesn't matter whether you perfectly faro it or not. It is not necessary. Just as long as the top card has another card underneath it, okay? So there it is. Now swing it around to make it look like a gun. This top card here is the selected card. Now, the way it goes further out or up in the air or across the room is the way you set this up. You set it in, you set it down, you set it up higher. So by trial and error, you'll find out which way you want it. Now, when I do like this, it looks like I put it in the deck. I didn't put it in the deck. Watch this very carefully. This is the bullet, that top card. All I'm doing is coming here, hitting the top card, and bringing it down, and she's loaded now. When I push that, that's the top card that's going to fly out. So here's what it looks like. Bringing your hand up to conceal what you're doing. You just take it like that and load it, and there it is. And there's the bullet, ladies and gentlemen. And all I'm going to do is hit the bullet. So what you're going to do is, let's do first this part where you hit the bullet. Did it again. I'll hit a little high. I don't want it to fly all the way out of range. So you hit the bullet and the thing flies out. And that's your card. Let me just do that one more time. Show you a different angle on it. The card is selected and controlled to the top. About 1/3. And you have a faro. You make a gun out of it. And you're holding it here. This is the load. Here. Boom, it's loaded, all right? Now you have it going up and down, and you come up and hit the bottom, and she'll fly out, the card. By having it further in, the card will fly up. I just want to give you one other idea with this. Putting the bullet in, Pete Viro showed me the way he was doing this so the card doesn't have to fly all over the place, and I just remembered it. He would take the bullet face up, and it would be on the back. Let's say it's a 7 of spade, and he would show the bullet going into the card, and he would do this, and it would fly out on the table, which was I thought it was a stupendous idea. But by doing this, then I couldn't go in with the Gare coin. So here it is now again with the Gare coin. The bullet is on the table. This is in your pocket or something. That's your Gare coin. I'll tell you how to make it in a minute. And the selected card, let's say this time, is the 7 of club. So there you have it. You have it set up like this. Now you come and load, all right? I want you to take this coin and finger palm it. The $half is between those two fingers. You take another $half up. You should have a handkerchief spread out like that will catch the coin, the card, whatever you want. You work in a larger area. I just want to show you the switch. When I take the $half and I throw it up in the air, here's what I'm doing. I'm making believe I'm throwing a $half in the air. I'm pulling it back into the thumb palm position, okay? And I'm just lofting the coin with the bullet in it. So a little practice, you'll get the timing. When you bring this back into the finger palm position as gesturing up in the air, you throw it up in the air, you hit that out, and it goes out. You put the cards down, you show I was able to get the bullet through the coin. Because back in the old days, they used to throw coins up in the air, and Tom Mixon, Hoot Gibson, whoever they were. And what was your card? And you turn over the card, and it's the selected card. So you give it a double effect, and now you got the gag with it also. I think that's explanatory enough. But just one more time, I just want to show you an easy way of loading the card. After the card is controlled to the top, a lot of people come back and they ask me about this again, and for some reason or another, they just don't pick it up, so I do it one more time. This is the selected card. Let me turn it over. The ace of diamond is the selected card, okay, guys? And this, say, is another ace, the bullet. So I'm hitting that top card and bringing it down. Now she's loaded, okay? Then when I push that up in the air, it's going to fly out, okay? That's what's going to happen to it. That's the 38 special. Terrible. You ever go into a restaurant, you don't get service? Just sit like that. Elevator says no smoking. I'm not smoking. That Mexican food will kill you. That's the smoke in the mouth gimmick. Let me show you how to make it. And there's many little things you can do with it. You can have 4 or 5 of them. You can have them in little droppers under your jacket. You can produce it, and keep loading your mouth one at a time. You can have those little mouth coils, tear up some paper, load them out, do the mouth coil, and at the end of the mouth coil, smoke is coming from your mouth. Let me try to explain something. With a regular cigarette, It's going to last about 2 minutes. You got to do it slow though. With the little cigarello or an Eric, it's going to last a good 4 minutes. You take two dowels, and the dowels, one is bigger than the other. You drill a hole in one, a hole in the other, just to accommodate a cigarette, and you just shove the two together. After a while, in certain weather, it either becomes tight or it loosens up. In the dry weather, it contracts. In the humid weather, it expands. It's quite dry in here, so it's kind of loose. So you would put some masking tape around it, and I've kept them for years. If you do it 5 days a week, believe it or not, it's going to last you for 4 years, because mine usually lasts around 4 years, and I just put masking tape on it and just keep reusing them. So all you got to do is get some wood, some dowels. I don't care if you want to make it bigger, you can, but if it's too big, it's not going to be right. Here's the way you light it. You must light this fat end again, okay? The fat end is lit. I usually turn it around and blow through it to get a good flame going. Then I put it on my tongue to the roof of the mouth, and you hiss. There's no way you can do it except by hissing like this. But slow. You don't even have to hear it. You'll get oodles of smoke from it. And I have used them in, like, the kids back at home. We all went out for dinner there, and we went to this Mexican restaurant. I love hot sauce. And I start with the nachos and the hot sauce. And as the waiter comes back with the drinks, I said, boy, it's hot. All right. To drink with it, you put it on the side of your mouth, and your face is away from the audience, okay? And then you can drink with it, and the fat of your cheeks keeps the water from going into the thing. So here it is again. You light the fat end. Watch your nose, though. Turn it around. Good flame on the tongue. And a little hiss. Now I'll turn into the camera, and here's where I put it when I want to drink or talk. Hold on for a second. It just went out. So when I'm talking, you can't see a thing. Just try it sometime, sitting at a table in a restaurant. And that's it. It's a beautiful little piece of equipment. Now, for those people who don't smoke, you will smell the smoke, you will taste the smoke, but you are not smoking. You are using the cigarette just to create the smoke, and the smoke is being blown out of your mouth. I've checked this with the dentist and the doctors, and I have them check my teeth, health, and everything, and they cannot find anything. And I've been doing it for probably 30 years now. It will not bother you, okay? You'll become accustomed to it. And as I say, the doctors and the dentists, when it's open, it looks just like a pipe. The inside gets charred just like a pipe. But that's it. That's a little smoke from mouth gimmick. I don't care how you make it, but use it. It's a fun thing. A great publicity getter. When I do trade shows, and I'm working like at a Hyatt Regency, and we're passing out invites to our hospitality room, I will stay up and down 25 floors with two guys that work with us, and I'll just have smoke coming out of my mouth for half an hour when the guys are on their break. And the elevators are full with 30 people, for crying out loud. And you'd be surprised. And we just keep passing these invites out to our company's hospitality room that night. And it's an attention getter. Any place you sit, I have done them in restaurants already, and I've had the entire restaurant looking over at our table. And you can hear them whispering, hey, that's Paul Diamond, the magician. That's Paul Diamond, the magician, so forth. So fun. Okie dokie, smoke from mouth. Here's a little throwaway. Using a coin, nothing else but the coin. The coin is on my fingertip. It goes right into this. Keep your eye on the coin. You may even hear the coin going. everybody wants you to open up the other hand, and you did. The coin is gone. That's a little throwaway for you. Now I want to teach you how to do that quick throwaway. It's the old tunnel vanish or a thimble move. It's just this going around the thumb. Watch it carefully, going around the thumb. But look what I'm doing with it. I'm pushing it in here. I'm putting it to the thigh, and I'm bringing it over across the top, okay? And she hangs up here. But I go one step further by pushing it down into the thing. So let's do it one more time. Let's turn around so you can see this outside action. I don't know, can you see that? So it goes inside, and I just slowly push it up to the top of the hand. It sits on the top of the hand. And then I just backtrack it and shoot it right under the wristband. I pull my finger out, both hands open, and then you can do this with it, and nobody sees it. Just a little throwaway, thought you might like it. Again, I like to show you something different, which is called, I call them cutie pies. They're just little impromptu things that you can do anytime. Again, I want to reiterate, I don't want to take credit for any of this stuff. I don't know if any of it's mine or whose it is, or it's just something when you get to be as old as I am. I've been in this racket now for 46 years, and you do certain things and you forget where you learn them. So whoever wants credit for them, take all the credit in the world for it. But I know you can lose a lot of good tricks in books and things, and this is something I very seldom see done. And I used to do this a lot many years ago at carnivals and stuff. You'd borrow a handkerchief. When I would be selling magic, I can remember this. Well, I'll tell you about that later. I'll tell you about that at the end when I expose the trick. But you borrow a handkerchief from somebody, okay? So you have a handkerchief. And you have someone sitting next to you, and you take a half a dollar, a lady's ring, whatever you want, and you put it in the center of the handkerchief, okay? You take the corner of the handkerchief, and you show them that it is covering, that's covering the half. Now you cover another one like that. Can you still see the half, you say? Yes, they can see the half. Can you still see the half? Yes, they can still see that little piece sticking out there. Can you see the half? No, they can't see the half, and you let them feel it, and they feel it, and everything is still there. Now what you're going to do, make the half a dollar, make the half dollar disappear. So let's get a good shot on the handkerchief over here and a good shot on me. Now let me explain something to you. The half a dollar is still there. See the half a dollar? It's still there. Watch the half a dollar disappear. Watch. Slowly, I'll open and show you the whole handkerchief, and it's gone. Not only is it gone, everything could be left there. Your hands, your sleeves, everything could be examined. One of the greatest coin vanishes in the world that's a little different. You know, instead of all of this stuff with all the sleight of hand, make a coin vanish, which I'll do anytime you want to see it. But this is novel. It's a novelty. It's different. It's a cutie pie. All right, let me show you how this is done. I got a very funny story with this also. It's done with magician's wax. You guys know what magician's wax is, don't you? This is magician's wax. Okay? It's done with magician's wax. I always used to have a piece of magician's wax on a button on my shirt, all right? I never had the tie on. You would be pitching magic, and I used to say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been such a good audience. I'm going to show you a trick for nothing. I will teach you how to do a trick. And I used to teach them this trick. But they used to say, where do you get magician's wax? And I used to sell them magician's wax then. So the magician's wax, I used to go, and I used to get off of my little button when I was ready to use it, borrow a handkerchief and get it into the corner of the handkerchief. So one day I'm doing this, and I don't think my wife's seen me do this before, and she got interested. She's never seen me do the trick. And I said, I'm going to show you a free trick, and this and that. She walks over, so help me God. And that little ding-a-ling of mine sees this little drop of magician's wax on my butt, and she reaches over after I've given this big pitch to everybody and got myself a good crowd, a good tip, and she takes this piece of garbage off my button. And I'm left there with mud on my, what do I do now, for crying out loud? Okay, so the $50 goes there. You cover it up like this. And I'm pressing on it. But I'm not pressing hard that you can see. I'm just holding my finger there. Now you cover up another one. Is it still there? You know, is it still there? Can you still see it? Yes, you can still see it. Can you still see it? Yes, you can still see it. You can feel it. You can hear it. You can see it. It's still there. Now, the only thing you do is you stick your fingers in this. Now, this is going to be done in slow motion so you can see what's happening. I'm putting my fingers in this. And as I bring my hand up, come on, let's get, okay, you see it hanging here? And now I'm putting it like this, and I'm just pulling it off the corner. I'm making my hands go back and forth like this. As I get near the top shirt pocket, I just drop the coin into the shirt pocket and just drop it in there, and the coin is gone. It's now in your shirt pocket. I don't care if you want to use the card on the ceiling or the coin on the ceiling. This is the best wax. It does come off the handkerchief. It stays on the harder object. All right? So just to reiterate, let's have the big shot now. So as I come up, I just open my hands here. As I'm coming up, it gets caught in here, in this finger, and just take it like this. And actually, all I got to do is slide it off the hand, and it'll fall right into the pocket, and you show it like that. And you sell an awful lot of magician's wax like that. Thank you very much. Do you know what draw poker is, Steve? I like to just give you a demonstration on draw poker. I don't have anything set up. But ladies and gentlemen, this man over here is a cheat, he's a thief, and he's a crook.
I agree.
And I have come, you're right, you all know him. And I came into town looking for a friendly little poker game, all right? And I am playing poker with this man, and I like to set up a situation. I hope some of you understand it. Don't look at the cards yet. The cards that they have in this game are marked cards, okay? This crook, this cheat, this thief, I'm called a pigeon. The backs of the cards are marked, so he knows what I have. Let me just change this around. I want to get myself a flush set up. I want to show you what I do. Come on, aren't there any more diamonds? There's another diamond, and we'll do that. All right, so what I have here, ladies and gentlemen, is 4 diamonds, which in the vernacular of poker is called a flush, a possible flush. You understand that? If I throw the deuce away and draw another diamond, I have a flush. Does everyone understand that gives a hoot? He knows this because the backs of the cards are marked, okay? Now, what I want to ask you to do is pick up your cards now, knowing what I have. Look at your cards. You can show them to these people and see if you're drawing right. I want you to act kind of like a cheat now. So show the cards to everybody else. You can draw as many as 4 cards. Okay. Okay. Show everybody your cards and stuff like that. Okay, now you know that I'm drawing 1 card. I want you to put your discards there because I play an honest game. And you're taking how many? 1, 2, 3. Now hold on. I'm taking 1, which happens to be a 6 of clubs. You can tell because they're marked on the back, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now look at your cards. You can show it to everybody else. You can put it with your other cards. Now, this man is a cheat. He knows what I have. I have a broken flush, correct? If I was to bet a lot of money, what we call sometimes to protect our hand, we may bluff them out. He may be scared. What would you do?
I would match and raise.
Raise, yeah. and then I would be in bad shape. I would continue to try to protect my hand, and I would raise you, and you would raise me, and I would raise you. You would raise me. Okay, so we got a lot of money in there. What did you get? Show everybody what you got. Show me also. I called you, in other words. Two pair, fives and eights. But you see, you didn't know I was a magician.
You're the chief.
I'm a big cheater. I also have two pair. You don't believe it. You want to see it. I have two pair. I have two pair of vases. That beats the hell out of you. Thank you. Well, what you've just seen is a very unusual thing. I can remember once at a private meeting of executives, 2,000 people, closed circuit TV at Carnegie Hall. Let me show you how simple this is. Let's say I want to switch for these four races, okay? I put the four races on the bottom of the deck. I can set it up so you get a good hand and all that, but I don't. The four races are on the bottom of the deck, and I am holding nothing but a finger break. So we're dealing out the cards. We're talking about draw poker. I'll show you how to do it in the magic trick also. 4, 5, 5. I tell a guy, don't look at your cards. And you remember me saying that this guy's a cheat, a crook, a thief. He can read the back of the cards. I want to show you my hand. I have a 5, 6, 7. Let me just change it around till I get a better hand to draw to. All right, there's something nice. I have a 5, 6, 7, 9, and a king. Everybody who plays draw poker understands that if you throw away the king and draw one card, you've got what they call an inside straight, which is a stupid thing to do, but people still do it, for crying out loud. Okay, now I tell this guy to look at his cards, and he picks up his cards and he looks at them, okay? And he decides to draw cards, and let's say he keeps the pair of deuces and throws these three away. I will keep his hand open here. And what I do is I've got this lousy hand, and I want to switch it for this. So I throw away that king on the top, and I say, I want one card, all right? And he wants three. So what I do here is like this: 1, 2, 3, and I draw 1. He picks his cards up. I pick mine up, and I've got 4 races. Did you see it? I don't think you did. So now I'll draw your attention to it. Remember, I had these cards down here, and I had a break under here. Well, people pick up their cards. All I do is take this stack after I dealt my one card and just put this on top of that, push it forward, and I have these in my hand, which I spread. One more time. I don't know if you know, but people, when they play poker, they take their cards and they do funny things with them. They sweat themselves, they touch themselves in funny places. These are called sweating the cards out. And they peek a look at the card, and they take another look. Here, wide a shot here. And they do this garbage, and they're sweating the cards out. My God, by the time they sweat them cards out, an elephant can cross this table. So here, I just dealt him his 3. We've thrown away our discards. He picks them up to look. Everybody grabs their cards to look. You just take all the cards above this stack, put them down here. You can drop this here. If you want to throw that away, get a drink, pick up the cards, or preferably, I like it like this. These are the cards I want to get rid of. I want to switch for this. And I'll tell you something, nobody has ever seen me. On 2,000 people, nobody have ever seen me. Just put the cards down, push it forward, and start sweating these cards out. You've got the winning hand, the 4 races. You know, I'd like to show you another move. If you make a mistake, another out. You know how magicians, when they get the wrong card, they make a mistake sometimes. They get the card to the top of the deck, they palm it off, and boom, it goes into the pocket. How about using the same move that I just did for the poker deal? Let's say the card is shuffled and everything, and you go to pick up the card, and it's the jack. And the guy says, no, it's not the jack. You mean that's not your card? What was your card? And the guy says it was a 10 of spade, and you look through the deck, and you say, are you sure it was a 10 of spade? So what you do is you look him right in the eye, are you sure it's a 10 of spade like this? He doesn't know what you've just done. He doesn't know what you've just done. Here's what I'm doing. It's the jack of spade, it's jack of hearts, your mistake. You get a break under the bottom card and just watch it. What's your card? 10 of spade, are you sure? And you just put that and get rid of it, shove that over and turn it over. The eye don't pick it up. The mind don't pick it up. It's just a crazy little thing. I think if you try this once in your life, you'd be amazed. It'd make you feel 10 years younger. All right, so that's a draw poker switch with a little move from the bottom of the deck that you can use as an out. You can also use it as a poker demonstration and many, many other things. You can change your half a deck with it. You can change your blue stack to a red stack. There are just many things to do with it. That's it.